everyone, and welcome back to another episode of FluentCast, your podcast to improve your listening skills and improve your English vocabulary. I'm Diego, and today I'm here with my friend and co-worker, teacher Amanda.
Hi everyone! I'm really excited about today's episode. We're going to dive into the movie Inside Out 2, discuss the new emotions it introduces, and talk about how these emotions are relevant to both the movie and our everyday lives. Plus, we'll touch on how to cope with anxiety, especially for those learning English.
And first things first, let's talk about the title Inside Out. Amanda, what do you think of this title and why do you think it works so well for the movie?
Well, Inside Out is brilliant because it literally means showing what's inside, like turning something inside out to see its inner workings. For the movie, it's about showing the emotions inside Riley's mind. It gives us a peek into her thoughts and feelings, making it relatable to everyone.
Exactly. And for our listeners, you might notice that the title of the movie changes in different countries. For instance, in Brazil, it's called Divertidamente, which means playfully or fun mind. In Latin America, for the Spanish-speaker countries, it's Intensamente, which translates to intensely or intense mind. These titles reflect different cultural perspectives and what the movie emphasizes in those regions.
Yeah, it's fascinating how translations work. Titles are often changed to better resonate with the local audience, capturing the essence of the movie in a way that's culturally relevant. Now, let's dive into the plot of Inside Out 2.
Yes, so in Inside Out 2, Riley is now 13 years old and navigating the complexities of teenage life. The familiar emotions, joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust, are joined by new emotions like anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui as Riley enters puberty.
That's right. The story follows Joy and her team as they try to manage Riley's emotional landscape, especially when anxiety takes over and tries to reshape Riley's personality. The emotions must work together to help Riley maintain her sense of self and navigate the challenges of growing up.
It's a heartfelt and humorous journey that explores the ups and downs of adolescence and the importance of embracing all emotions. Now, let's break down these new emotions introduced in Inside Out 2. Starting with anxiety. Amanda, how would you explain anxiety?
Oh, anxiety, our good old friend. So, anxiety is that feeling you get when you're worried or nervous about something that might happen. Imagine you have a big test tomorrow, for example, and you can't stop thinking about it. That jittery, uneasy feeling is anxiety. For our more advanced listeners, anxiety can also be described as a state of apprehension or fear that often comes without an obvious cause. And for synonyms, we have worry, nervousness, and apprehension. It's like when you have a bunch of butterflies in your stomach, but they're not the nice kind that make you feel happy.
Exactly. And next up is embarrassment. Embarrassment is when you feel awkward or ashamed about something, like when you accidentally call your teacher mom. It's that red-faced moment when you wish the ground would swallow you up. For our advanced learners, embarrassment can be described as a feeling of self-consciousness or awkwardness in a social situation. Synonyms include shame, awkwardness, and self-consciousness.
Ooh, I've had my fair share of embarrassing moments. Like that time I cried in the middle of the class because I forgot some vocabulary. So embarrassing.
Oh no, you remember that, right? Yeah, I do remember the day you forgot some vocabulary in the class. I wouldn't say it was embarrassing, but it was awkward.
Moving on, let's talk about envy. Envy is when you feel jealous because someone else has something you want. It's like when your friend gets a new phone and you wish you had one too. For more advanced learners, envy can be described as a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. Synonyms include jealousy, covetousness, and resentment.
Envy, like when you see someone on Instagram living their best life on a beach and you're stuck at home. Well, who wouldn't want that, right? Now, let's talk about another emotion, ennui. Different name, and I'd say a bit unusual name. This one's a bit tricky. Ennui is a feeling of listlessness and dissatisfaction arising from a lack of occupation or excitement. It's like a deep existential boredom. For beginners, think of it as a very strong feeling of boredom. For our more advanced listeners, it's a kind of weariness that comes from having nothing to do and feeling unfulfilled. Synonyms include boredom, weariness, and dissatisfaction.
Ennui is like when you've scrolled through all your social media feeds, watched all the shows, and still feel like there's nothing to do. It's that heavy, sighing feeling.
And these emotions, while they can be challenging, are really important in understanding Riley's journey in Inside Out 2. They show us that growing up involves a lot of complex feelings, and that's okay.
Yeah, these emotions are so relevant for the movie because they show the complexity of growing up. Now, let's discuss how the movie handles these emotions. Diego, what did you think about how anxiety was portrayed?
I thought it was very realistic. Anxiety tries to take control of Riley's personality, which is something many people can relate to. It's a powerful reminder that anxiety can be overwhelming, but it's important to manage it.
Certainly. And for our listeners, managing anxiety is crucial, especially when learning a new language. One way to cope with anxiety is by acknowledging it. Just like Riley's emotions are acknowledged in the movie, it's okay to recognize and accept your anxiety.
Another strategy is to break tasks into smaller steps. For example, instead of thinking about having a full conversation in English, focus on learning a few key phrases first. Practice them until you feel comfortable.
Yes, and don't forget to breathe. Taking deep breaths can help calm your mind and your body. It's also helpful to practice speaking in a safe environment, like with a friend or in front of a mirror, before speaking in a more stressful situation.
And remember, everyone makes mistakes. It's part of the learning process. Even native speakers make mistakes. The important thing is to keep practicing and not to be too hard on yourself.
Exactly. Another helpful tip is to visualize success. Imagine yourself speaking English confidently and clearly. Visualization can help reduce anxiety and build confidence.
Yes, and it's important to find joy in the learning process. Just like joy in the movie, focus on the positive aspects of learning a new language. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small.
That's so true. And speaking of joy, let's talk a bit more about how the movie portrays emotions. Inside Out 2 does a great job of showing that all emotions are important and valid. Even emotions like sadness and anger have their place and purpose.
Absolutely. For example, sadness helps Riley process her feelings and find comfort. Anger helps her stand up for herself. Each emotion plays a role in helping us navigate life.
It's a great reminder that it's okay to feel a range of emotions. When we understand and accept our emotions, we can manage them better. This is especially important for language learners who might feel a mix of emotions during the learning process.
Right. So, let's summarize some key points for our listeners. Inside Out 2 is a fantastic movie for understanding emotions. The characters' names are straightforward and offer a great way to learn about different feelings. The movie's title, Inside Out, gives us a peek into Riley's mind, showing us that it's okay to feel all emotions.
We also discussed how the movie's title and character names translate in different languages, like divertidamente in Brazil and intensamente in Latin America. These translations highlight different aspects of the movie.
And most importantly, we talked about coping with anxiety, especially for language learners. Remember to acknowledge your emotions, break tasks into smaller steps, practice in a safe environment, visualize success, and find joy in the learning process.
Yes, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're a natural part of learning. Keep practicing, stay positive, and celebrate your progress.
Thanks for tuning in today, everyone. We hope you found this episode both helpful and encouraging. If you have any questions or want to share your experiences with learning English, don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media or through our website. And for our listeners in Europe and the Middle East, if you've seen Inside Out 2 and noticed the title translated differently in your language, please let us know in the comments on Spotify or our YouTube channel. We'd love to hear about the various names for this movie around the world.
We absolutely love hearing from you. And hey, if you're interested in studying English directly with one of us, feel free to reach out through our social media channels for personalized classes. We'd be thrilled to help you on your language journey. Until next time, keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, it's okay to feel all your emotions. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.